Hi guys, Stu here with a new video, and this video is my updated guide for Enhancement Shaman. Not really a guide, but an updated build, excuse me. So Enhancement Shaman, I'm playing a build now where I am effectively playing an Elemental Shaman build as an Enhancement Shaman. Let me explain. So first and foremost, my build consists now to go for full mastery pretty much, with also a bit of haste. Because of multiple things that I'm going to discuss really quickly. This will not be a complete guide. Again, I've already have a complete guide, but this will be like a complementary guide to the guide I've made beginning of the season. So we go for mastery, haste, and a bit less versatility. We have like a lot less versatility, let's be honest. But I'm going to work on it to get some pieces with high verse. I'm thinking about my wrists, which I'm going to probably turn into a 1 stat versatility wrist, and I would go for the normal versatility rings and other pieces here and there. So I'm going to compensate it, but this is probably my build right now for this season, at least until they change things about Enhancement Shaman. We're playing with haste mastery neck, and we're playing with haste mastery finger to compensate the loss of haste we get for a lot of stuff, but also just in general we want to have high mastery as well. So those two together will give you the best result at doing damage. Your survivability will be lower because of versatility being a bit lower. It depends about the gear that you're going to have. So also, especially if you have like the best build possible, you could have way more versatility by going those conquest pieces, for example. But overall, it gives you at least it gives me the best result possible. And it does feel like very cool to play. And this is the build I'm playing, and this is going to be in the description. I'm going to explain really quickly the main points, but I already did that on the other guide video. But this one will be more precise, I would say. So we're playing with the class tree, which is often this. There is not a lot I could change. In general, there is maybe a change I could do with lightning lasso by taking totemic projection and then take with static field totem, so you can displace people if you really want to kite stuff. But again, lightning lasso, it always helps with setting up kills, and often people just trinket it, so it does help. You could also take 1 point out of Nature's Fury, because again, we are not really playing a nature damage build pretty much. It's more like about elemental blast and lava lashes and frost shocks and whatever. So you could take it out and put that point into totemic projection to have a bit more result. You can also go for clan spirit if you're playing versus a hex a user, or for example a warlock, like affliction warlock, so you can actually decurse the big agony, which is also great. But also versus destruction warlock, where you can also decurse the havoc, which is also a big portion of their gameplay and how they do well, for example. So those are the options. In the SPEC tree, which is the more important one, we actually don't want anything to do with Stormstrike. This build actually makes Stormstrike hits for way less. It is just not strong with this build, but it's also not the purpose. I hit Stormstrike way less than any other build. I press Lava Lash on demand, I press Ice Strike on demand, Frost Shock with the improvement from Legacy of the Frost Witch, but also your Hailstorm, which automatically will give you some big juicy Frost Shocks. I normal hit for 120k minimum, and it can go up to 160k minimum, like normal hit, and whenever it crits, it's like above like 200k, even more, depending on versatility, depending on luck, and also just proc chances. It does a lot of damage. This build feels really nice. The only unfortunate part is we are very prone to be getting targeted, but that's pretty much always. And you don't really have that surprise oomph that sometimes you get with deeply rooted elements and Torm's Invocation, where you're going to spam Stormstrike and like delete someone with it. Or if you're playing with Ascendance, you don't have like the big burst portion that you could have with that. This is way more consistent though, does way more damage. Elemental Blast hits for a lot because they unnerfed it. Your Primordial Wave sets up for a big go with, of course, having way more haste whenever you're going to do that on multiple targets. At least 3 in 3v3, so try to ignite everyone, but if you can also ignite the pets, that's even better, by the way. Feral Spirit on demand, because you have your Witch Doctor's Ancestry, and it will also reduce the CD of Primordial Wave. So what you want to do is Primordial Wave, don't cast the Lightning Bolt yet, put your Feral Spirit and then Lightning Bolt, so you have all the value possible, which is the damage from Primordial Wave, the damage from the Feral Spirits that is going to add onto your Lightning Bolt if, let's say, you get Nature Lightning Wolves, which is going to improve your lightning damage, but also it will reduce the CD of Primordial Waves, which is, again, one of your prerequisites to be able to delete someone. Again, try to Elemental Blast on demand, pretty much. Lava Lash whenever you can, and if you get like a lot of like those procs from Hot Hand, that's always welcome, but it's not like a prerequisite to do Lava Lashes. You can just do Lava Lashes whenever you can. Try to Flame Shock everyone so you get a lot of value for it. And if you're Lava Lashing the main target, it always should have Flame Shock on the main target because it will refresh it. Now people know how to play against it though. They kind of dispel Flame Shock on demand, but it is what it is at the end of the day. So what you have to do is just Flame Shock every single time he is going to dispel your target. It's annoying, I know, but they get damage, and also it will be buffed today for NA and tomorrow for us in EU. So the backlash damage will be a bit more scary, I guess. You could also remove Focus Insight if you feel like you're not healing too much, and take Wind Fury Weapon, which effectively will give you 10% damage instead of 5%. You can do that. It depends on matchups. If you feel like you're playing twos, for example, you can play with this. You don't really need too much self heals because generally you can kite people if your heal is CC'd. But in threes, often not, I do play with Focus Insight so I can off heal. There is also the option to play with Refreshing Waters, but I do cast Flame Shock like on demand, so I'll always have like some sort of increased healing to myself anyways, and it's always nice to have it also on other people. So I really like that as well. No, another thing you can actually play around if you really want to is the possibility to remove one of the talents on the right side, which is either Swirling Maelstrom, which I don't really like to remove because I like the talents. It gives me more Maelstrom, and this with combined Legacy of the Frost Witch and all of the left side and also the middle side, it gives me a lot of Maelstrom regen. But you can always remove Lashing Flames. It does make your pad damage a bit more less paddy, I would say, but having Feral Lunge sometimes helps. So if you really want to stick on your target, it can help. This combined also with your ranged damage that you can have with Frost Shocks, with your Flame Shocks, with your Elemental Blast, Primordial Wave into Lightning Bolts, and whatever you have onto your target, you can actually do that from afar. But in some matchups, sometimes they really kite you very well, and that can help. And you don't really need the pad damage to destroy someone. It will make your Flame Shock effectively like 100% less effective. It is what it is at the end of the day, but if you can actually reach the target, you can actually delete someone. If you cannot reach the target and you cannot regen some Maelstrom via Ice Strike or Lava Lash, it becomes very problematic. So that's also a way to arrange it, but this is the main build. Again, everything will be in the description, so you can copy paste it. And let's talk about PvP talents really quickly. It's kind of the same than my original video, but often or not, I see myself play with Grounding Totem, Burrow, so I can actually have a second life sometimes. And the third one is like a choice, I would say. Sometimes I play with Construct Totem in Soul Shuffle because people don't notice it, and it can often give you some good damage. But if they do notice it, like if the first round I see like they destroy my totem on demand, I just take it out. I play with Shamanism, which is my default. I play with the Shamanism and it does very well. I put like you can put shamanism together with primordial wave. You can do that if you want to, but I often have those two buttons separated. But that's a possibility. You can play with Skyfury Totem, but I feel like, again, you're not really crit heavy. If you're critting, it is really a miracle, pretty much. Unleash Shield, very strong. If you are playing like on specific maps, you can actually make the healer really cry his eyeballs out. So you can play around that. So you can push people and also root them in place at the same time. Season Wind's very strong versus Destruction Warlocks, for example. I do play that. Or versus ice frost mages, because they always cast frost bolts or glacial spikes or frost bombs, so you always have like 45% damage reduction at all times, which is really crazy. Static field totem, very strong, depending on matchups where if you don't survive, if they're melee on you, you can actually buy yourself a bit of time. But you can also play with that if you're playing with a caster. Let's say you're playing with a frost mage, you can peel them out, the frost mage like zone, I would say. So you can do that as well. If you're playing like beast mastery enhanced and they're on your BM, you can always static field totem them away from a BM. So again, it makes it a lot easier to kite, a lot easier to survive in general. Traveling storms, I don't play that as an enhancement shaman, and Stormweaver, I try to play that sometimes, but it feels like it's good, but it's not like vital. It's I wish it was a 4th PvP talent, or it was on the spec tree. It would make more sense, but unfortunately it is not. So right now it is like a talent that you would like to take, but you don't have space for it. So those are the PvP talents. Let's talk about the rotation, and then we can of course end the video on that. Again, everything is the same as my build video, but this is pretty much how I play in general. So what I want to do is I want to flame shock one target, and then you can just start off with another flame shock on another target. I cannot target the dummies because I have it set up for PvP. But then I have like a primordial wave into a feral spirit into a lightning bolt, and then you can just start off with your heavy damage, right? And that's pretty much it. That is the build, and then you just like hit what is lighting up. Often not, you try to reapply the lava lashes on multiple enemies, and that's it. It's very, very easy. And what I do is I tap target in general. But here I cannot do that with dummies because it is not set up for it. And you can always do a lot of damage with lightning lasso because you are like full mastery. Everything you're going to produce does a lot of damage. And then whenever you can actually do another go, you have another feral spirits going on, and then you can lightning bolt, and then you can just go again and again and again. And you can pretty much like primordial wave every 30 seconds, which is actually fantastic. Like every 30 seconds, people don't have their CDs yet. So whenever you can actually do a elemental blast, if you have like 10 Maelstrom, you can easily do an elemental blast. It does a lot of damage, and then you can just like peel off if you really want to, or you just continue the onslaught with your elemental shaman. Of course, I didn't have my flame tongue, but be sure to have flame tongue. So I should have a what's it called, a weak aura for that. But if you're like trying to do the same every single time, it will do some insane damage again and again and again. In PvP, it will not always be easy because people are going to target you. But if you can actually like stick on the target and you can just produce insane damage, that's going to hurt. It's going to be enough to destroy people, and like people are not going to notice the damage that you're going to produce. They're going to say, what the hell, Enhancement Shaman is OP, but it is not. We have like big like problems which often people don't talk about, but like survivability is one of them. And if you can actually like land a big frost shock with a big lava lash and a big elemental blast, people are going to forget about the unfortunate parts of Enhancement Shaman. But trust me, it is not meta. You're going to have like pretty rough times. You're going to hate trees sometimes. You're going to hate soul shuffle sometimes. You're going to hate 2 sometimes. but trust me, if you're like training and you're going to play a lot of Enhancement Shaman, you're going to do well on Enhancement Shaman. And once we get a buff eventually on our defensives, not the placebo buff that we got, like a 2% increase on magical damage, that's not going to matter too much in PvP in my opinion. Once we get like real buffs, for example, Astra Shift being able to be casted while stunned, that would actually help us with surviving, but they are not going to do that for some reason. They are not doing it, so I don't expect them to do so, but if they do, that will be the time where Enhancement Shaman will be shining really hard, and people are not going to be ready for that. But anyways, this is pretty much the video. It's a short guide. I will try to make sometimes shorter guides if I want to update a build and talk a bit more in depth about it. But again, the normal guys are not going to be taken away. The advanced guys, where I make a 1 hour video like with a social shuffle at the end, for example, with more commentary based stuff to actually make you learn a bit more in depth about those classes, are also not going to go away. I'm going to try to make them more, but I am really with a bit of time constraints. But once I can actually do that, I will be trying to give it to you guys. Thursday, which is in 2 days, I'll do a live stream so we can play together, or you can actually watch me play in social shuffle and rage. But anyways, hopefully we're doing well with Enhancement Shaman. Hopefully we're doing well with all the specs that I'm trying to play right now. So again, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. And hooray, we have some MMR changes, so we will probably queue and also climb way faster than usual. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for the unending support that we got this year. I'll make a video a bit further down the line talking about the channel again, but again, thank you for all the support and all the help you actually brought to me. So it's a very cool thing. Again, thank you. Have a great day. Bye.